So we got a few propellers to do a little testing with. Shish. 4 blades, 3 blades, 70 horsepower, 115, 150, 250, 300s. We got all the sizes. So it's always a constant changing one. We're gonna put on this boat, SHO VMAX 24 pitch. Ought to work nicely. Gotta get little tools, a few tools. Gotta always grease up the spline on the lower unit. Really important, because you never know when you might get some line or something wrapped around the prop. You know, people are fishing, it happens, it's part of fishing. And if you gotta take that off 6 months from now, you wanna make sure that it comes off easily. So we're gonna put lots of grease on that. We'll also put some grease inside the hub. This is just some grease that came with a reel at some point in time. It's a white grease. Put it on this spline, and we'll also put some on the hub. You know, the things that are really important with a new boat is doing these things before it ever sees any salt water. And the reason why is once salt, mist, spray, anything touches that metal, it has the ability then to start corroding. So our preventative is just to simply do it before it actually hits salt water. I'm gonna take the cowling off. We're gonna coat the inside of the motor after we've run it for a few minutes, get it nice and hot, and then we'll just coat it with some type of protectant. And then 6 months, 8 months, a year from now, year and a half from now, when I sell the boat, it's gonna look like it's brand new. So here we go. So this is the thrush washers that go on here. You can see there's already one in here. So I'm just gonna use this brass piece. Yamaha uses the brass so that it has the ability to forgive if you hit something, but more importantly, it also is a metal that doesn't generally corrode. Now we'll put this washer here, goes in there. You're gonna move this around until it locks in, and then push. Now when I go to start tightening, I'm gonna put this flat washer, one more. When we go to start tightening, that'll compress in there. What we typically like to do is tighten it as tight as you can possibly get it, and then just slightly back off a little bit. The reason why it's important to tighten it as tight as you can get it on the first time is so that it seats that prop onto the washer, as well as it seats this washer into the hub itself. So it's kind of mashing them all together. I'll put this down a little. See all this stuff laying here on the floor of my measuring board. All this is the stuff that came out of the last boat. So it's gonna go into this boat as soon as we back it into the garage. Show you a little trick I learned from so I got an 1 1/16 socket, deep well socket on a big drive. What we're gonna do here is I use this piece of wood to jam it in there. That way it doesn't slip. 2x4, a small short piece of 2x4 works really good. But as you can tell, I'm gonna tighten it as tight as I can get it, and then I'll back it off. I want to see where I'm at. Back it off just a little. There we go. Should be about perfect. Let's see. Maybe tighten just a click, just off a little bit. What I'm trying to line up is the hole in the notch in the sprocket. See right here? Now I'm over tightened it a little bit. So I gotta put that so that I can put that carter pin through there, and notches it on there. So I gotta back it off again a little bit. But at least I know now that the hub itself is compressed. See? Now we'll back it off so that we can line it up. You'll see here in a second. Now, we're gonna put this there. Now I just gotta get a pair of pliers, and I don't bend this all the way back because I change the prop very often. So that's it. So if you guys want to see more on tips, rods and reel tips, putting line on rods and reels, getting backlashes out, all different types of cool things that'll make you, one, a more practical and better fisherman, but also make life a lot simpler long term when it comes to all this boating and fishing stuff. All you got to do is simply subscribe. So a few years ago, I was in the Everglades not paying attention and let the back of the motor drift into a big tree trunk. There was a tree limb sticking out and punched a hole right through the engine cowling. So in good conscience, I couldn't sell the boat to a guy, so I bought another cowling. But what I have been doing is every year I get a new boat, one thing I do is I have this old standby cowling, and as you can tell, it's got scratches on it where I hit the power pole. I got scratches on it where I've scratched into something. But every time I get a new motor, I take the new cowling, which is that one right there, off. I'll put that up on a shelf, and then I put this one on there so that while I'm using the boat for the next year, I don't scratch up the new cowling. Now when the guy gets the boat, we take the old cowling off, put the new cowling on. It's like brand new engine. So we're gonna put it's like having an old glove, old trusty glove. We're gonna put our trusty glove on there, take care of our motor. All right, turn it around. This one's been on there for 4 or 5 boats. So one dumbass move became somebody else's treasure, because this guy, when he gets his, whoever I sell this boat to, will have a cowling that's brand new.